Have you heard about the billionaire who once lived in a car? Today, we're exploring the incredible journey of Li Ka-Shing, a man who transformed dire circumstances into boundless success. This story will illuminate how unwavering determination, a forward-thinking mindset, and strategic actions can lead anyone from the lowest point to remarkable heights. If you've ever felt stuck or hopeless, Li Ka-Shing's life proves that no challenge is too great when you believe in your potential. Let's dive into his story and learn how to reshape our lives for the better. Overcoming the harshest beginnings, Li Ka-Shing's life began against the backdrop of wartime turmoil and sudden displacement, forcing his family to seek refuge in Hong Kong. Imagine the fear and uncertainty that come with fleeing your homeland, only to find yourself living in cramped quarters, struggling just to secure your next meal. That was Li's day-to-day reality, further compounded by the loss of his fathers during his teenage years. With virtually no safety net, he was left to navigate a harsh environment where survival meant accepting any job available, long shifts in a watch-strap factory, or other low-paying, physically demanding positions, just to scrape by. Despite these hardships, Li never lost sight of a bigger dream. In fact, these tough conditions galvanized his fighting spirit. Sleeping in a car at one point was not only a testament to his lack of options, but also a spark that ignited his resolve to break free from poverty. He began to realize that desperation can be turned into motivation, prompting him to seek knowledge beyond the routine tasks he was assigned. Instead of viewing dead-end jobs as mere necessities, he considered them stepping stones for something greater. Late at night, when exhaustion pressed heavy on his shoulders, he would envision a better tomorrow, a tomorrow he was determined to create for himself. This unwavering focus on possibility set Li Ka-Shing apart. He saw adversity not as a final sentence, but as a challenge to surpass. If you've ever felt trapped by circumstances, take heart. The brutality of Li's earliest chapters, marked by bombing raids, cramped accommodations, and the sting of profound loss, did not halt his trajectory. On the contrary, those experiences equipped him with grit and unbreakable tenacity. Instead of surrendering to the notion that his life story was already written by outside forces, Li used every setback as a proving ground for his ambition. By adopting that same perspective, you too can unlock a powerful shift in your own path. Every hurdle becomes a chance to strengthen your resilience and carve out new openings for success. Cultivating a powerful mindset. One of the most striking facets of Li Ka-Shing's journey is how he trained his mind to reject limitation. When he was working grueling shifts in factories, his co-workers often accepted their fates, complaining about the meager pay and long hours while assuming nothing could change. Li took a different approach. He knew every single day could be a chance to acquire a new skill, observe a business strategy, or nurture a more confident self-image. Even if his reality at the time was grim, sleeping in a car and barely making ends meet, he chose to believe that this was only a temporary stage. How many of us allow our current situation to define our sense of self-worth? Have you ever doubted your capacity to go beyond what you see in front of you? That doubt is precisely where Li refused to dwell. Instead, he practiced what some now call mental reframing. Whenever he faced a setback, he deliberately asked himself what could be learned from it. This perspective transformed each obstacle into a lesson, and each stumbling block into a prompt for personal evolution. Over time, by constantly challenging negative beliefs, Li Ka-Shing fortified the idea that if he worked smarter, not just harder, He could build a life that contrasted starkly with his humble beginnings. This mindset became a powerful force driving his career. Long before he was a household name, he was a quiet student of life. He observed how managers bargained for deals, how supply chains functioned, and how small decisions in production could yield significant profits or losses. By treating his environment as a university without walls, Li discovered he could educate himself through daily experiences. Every contract, conversation, and business hurdle. The result? He emerged with a mental toolkit that would later set him apart as a visionary entrepreneur. We all have the ability to cultivate our own mental advantage. Instead of seeing your present constraints as a dead end, see them as your personal training ground. Challenge your doubts, question your self-imposed limits, and stay curious. When you do this consistently, you create a powerful inner atmosphere where breakthroughs can happen. Li Ka-Shing proved it's not just luck or external conditions that determine greatness. It's the decision to see possibility everywhere, even in the bleakest corners of your life. Spotting opportunities others miss. Opportunity doesn't always announce itself with flashing lights. Often, it appears as a mundane or overlooked detail, waiting for someone with curiosity and courage to recognize its potential. Li Ka-Shing's early move into manufacturing plastic flowers stands as a perfect example. While some might dismiss such a venture as trivial, Li saw beyond the surface. He recognized that seemingly ordinary products, when crafted to a high standard and marketed strategically, could fill a gap and generate steady revenue. This willingness to enter a less glamorous sector opened the door to his first major entrepreneurial breakthrough, providing the capital he later channeled into more ambitious endeavors. Opportunity, by its nature, can appear anywhere, in your current job, your hobby, or even in an unexpected conversation with a friend. The crucial question is whether you can spot that hidden potential before someone else does. Li Ka-Shing did more than notice opportunities, though. He acted decisively. Rather than hesitating until conditions were perfect, he embraced the idea that learning on the go was often more effective than waiting idly for that elusive, ideal moment. This bold, forward-leaning attitude gave him a running start in the market, while others remained stuck in analysis paralysis. Even as he ventured beyond plastic flowers, investing in real estate and other industries, Li always used one key principle: never underestimate the possibilities locked inside small beginnings. He saw each market shift, each economic trend, as a chance to pivot and capitalize on emerging needs. Real estate might have seemed like an entirely different game, but the underlying logic, recognize a basic need and respond effectively, remained the same. If you're wondering how to emulate this principle in your own life, start by examining the things you take for granted. Are there simple problems in your neighborhood that no one has tackled? Is there a growing demand in your professional field that you could fulfill with a bit of extra training? Does your favorite pastime have hidden commercial or creative potential you've never considered? By taking a closer look, you may discover that opportunities have been around you all along, just waiting for you to connect the dots. When you decide to act, do so wholeheartedly. Research, plan, and commit, but also be ready to refine your approach as you learn. Remember, Li Ka-Shing turned a venture that many might have dismissed, manufacturing plastic flowers, into the bedrock of a global empire. What untapped possibilities could you be overlooking in your own life? Innovating for growth and impact. At the heart of Li Ka-Shing's empire lies a commitment to continuous innovation. From plastic manufacturing, he expanded into real estate, telecommunications, retail, and beyond, making strategic moves as markets shifted and new technologies emerged. Rather than relying on old successes, he embraced a forward-thinking mentality, always pushing for more efficient processes, better customer experiences, and solutions that aligned with rapidly changing consumer demands. This approach wasn't about chasing every flashy trend. It was about staying curious, staying informed, and being nimble enough to pivot when the winds of change started blowing. Have you ever resisted change because it felt too unfamiliar or intimidating? Li Ka-Shing would argue that remaining static is often far more dangerous than venturing into new territory. Yes, mistakes are possible when trying something unfamiliar, but stagnation can be a surefire route to irrelevance. In a world where technological breakthroughs can disrupt entire industries almost overnight, adaptability isn't just a competitive edge, it's a survival tool. One of Li's guiding principles was to invest in industries that catered to future generations' needs. Whether it was real estate or telecommunications, he asked himself what people would require in the next decade rather than simply focusing on immediate gains. As a result, his portfolio consistently positioned him as an early adopter of promising trends, setting him apart from competitors who played it safe. The lesson for us is clear. If you want to thrive over the long haul, cultivate the habit of thinking ahead. That might mean updating your skill set regularly, seeking out new perspectives, or even reimagining a long-time project that no longer reflects the evolving marketplace. True innovation rarely arises from a place of comfort. It's birthed by those willing to challenge the status quo and invest time, energy, and resources in fresh ideas. This approach applies to personal growth just as much as it does to multinational enterprises. Maybe you've been doing things one way for years, whether it's how you organize your day, manage your finances, or interact with others, and you suspect it's no longer effective. Instead of shrugging and continuing as usual, take a page from Li Ka-Shing's playbook. Ask yourself what's next, test a new strategy, and don't fear the learning curve. Over time, these experiments can spark the breakthrough that propels you into an entirely new realm of success. Paying it forward, a legacy of giving. Although Li Ka-Shing's name is most often associated with astounding business ventures, his story cannot be told without highlighting his deep commitment to philanthropy. Through the Li Ka-Shing Foundation, he has contributed billions to education, healthcare, and community programs worldwide, promoting a vision where individual success fuels collective uplift. He never forgot the struggles of his youth, those cold nights spent in a cramped car, the days of near constant worry over basic survival. Rather than erasing these memories, he allowed them shape a philanthropic mission dedicated to helping others escape the cycle of poverty. This spirit of giving doesn't require billions to be meaningful. Even if your resources are modest, deciding to pay it forward can transform someone's life in ways you might never fully realize. Mentoring a younger colleague, volunteering in your community, or simply offering consistent support to a friend in crisis all carry the power to shift trajectories. Such acts of generosity not only benefit others, they also reinforce a sense of purpose and gratitude in you. Li Ka-Shing's legacy reminds us that true success is not measured solely by net worth or share prices, but by the positive ripple effects we set in motion. As he built his empire, he created jobs, funded new research, and strengthened entire communities through focused initiatives. Each step in his journey, from the car he once called home to the boardrooms of global corporations, served as a powerful testament to the notion that when you rise, you have a chance to lift others along with you. So consider how you can weave compassion and generosity into your own life story. If you've gained a skill, share it. If you've learned a lesson, pass it on. And if you have an opportunity to fund or mentor an endeavor that could elevate someone else, embrace that choice. When success converges with empathy, the result is a legacy that resonates far beyond personal accolades. In Li Ka-Shing's world, giving back is not an afterthought, but a guiding principle. And it's a principle that can infuse your own journey with a deeper sense of meaning and fulfillment. Li Ka-Shing's life reminds us that setbacks can be the genesis of greatness when met with unwavering determination and a heart inclined to uplift others. Whether you're confronting personal hurdles or eyeing ambitious goals, remember his example. Begin with whatever you have. Stay curious, innovate, and share your gains along the way. True wealth transcends money. It's about forging opportunities, inspiring progress, and transforming lives. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to Rise and Inspire. Let's keep fueling one another's dreams and forging a future where we all rise together.
Oprah Winfrey's journey is a testament to the power of resilience, self-discovery, and the determination to uplift others no matter how dark the road ahead may seem. Born into challenging circumstances and enduring a painful childhood, she refused to let trauma define her future. Instead, she harnessed every obstacle as a stepping stone, gradually building a media empire that has inspired millions. In this video, we'll explore how Oprah turned her adversity into triumph and uncover the empowering lessons that can fuel your own path to greatness. Overcoming a turbulent childhood, Oprah Winfrey's early years were marked by instability, heartbreak, and financial struggles that could have easily broken her spirit. Raised by her grandmother during infancy, she experienced poverty so severe that her family made clothing from potato sacks. Constantly uprooted and shuttled between relatives, she had every reason to believe her potential would remain buried under life's challenges. Yet, she discovered an escape within the pages of books, forming a refuge for her intellect and imagination. Reading allowed her to see beyond her limited surroundings and dream of a future where she could lift herself out of hardship. While her environment was far from nurturing, it ignited a flame of self-reliance and creativity that would later define her path. She faced emotional and physical turmoil no child should endure, but with each traumatic event, she made a promise to herself. This pain would not be her legacy. Instead, it would be the catalyst that fueled her empathy for others. Have you ever felt like your background or past mistakes were insurmountable barriers to success? Oprah's story serves as a powerful reminder that one's origin need not dictate one's destiny. Through endurance, hope, and an unwavering belief in something better, she rose above her circumstances. She took control of her narrative, transforming what some might see as an impossible obstacle into a heartfelt motivation to uplift countless lives. This ability to persevere despite the odds planted the seeds for the remarkable woman the world would soon come to know. Discovering the power of communication. For Oprah, the spoken word became more than just a means to convey information. It was a tool of liberation. From a young age, she found solace in reciting Bible verses in church and participating in local speaking events. Each time she stood up to address a crowd, she felt an inner spark, a sense of belonging and authority she rarely experienced in her chaotic childhood. It was as if every syllable spoken publicly added a new layer to her emerging confidence. Communication was not only her refuge, it was her superpower. She believed in the transformative power of storytelling, recognizing that when we share our stories honestly and authentically, we can heal both ourselves and those who listen. This conviction led her to pursue journalism and media even when the odds were stacked against a young Black woman from an impoverished background. Like a seed discovering the warmth of the sun, her natural gift for connecting with people flourished in front of a microphone. Initially, she faced setbacks and professional challenges, including working at smaller local stations that questioned whether she had the right look or style for television. undeterred, she used criticism as a catalyst to refine her presentation, not to conform to a standard that didn't suit her, but to uncover the truest expression of herself. By embracing her own voice and unique perspective, she transformed vulnerability into a powerful form of engagement. In doing so, Oprah teaches us all that genuine communication can pierce through barriers built by prejudice, fear, and misunderstanding. From local news to global influence, Oprah's transition from local news anchor to national icon was never guaranteed. Early stints in television exposed her to a competitive industry that often placed looks and ratings above raw authenticity. She was told her hair wasn't right, her weight wasn't ideal, and her style didn't fit the norm. Each critique could have shattered her self-esteem, but she chose to lean on the resilience she developed in her childhood. Rather than chasing someone else's definition of perfection, she committed to staying real and relatable. That choice to remain undeniably herself became her secret weapon. When she began co-hosting a morning talk show in Chicago, her empathetic interviewing style immediately resonated with viewers. She offered more than just a quick soundbite or sensational headline. She offered a compassionate ear. Ratings soared, and soon the Oprah Winfrey Show was born. Her show wasn't merely about celebrity gossip or trends. It was a platform where everyday people felt seen and heard. For Oprah, discussing hard-hitting issues ranging from abuse to discrimination was not about exploiting pain for ratings, but about empowering viewers to face their own struggles head-on. The audience could sense her genuine concern, turning them into loyal advocates who helped grow her influence to global proportions. This remarkable trajectory reminds us that success often follows those who dare to bring their true selves into their work. The question for you is, are you willing to show up as your authentic self, even if it goes against the grain? Oprah's life illustrates that individuality can be your greatest asset and vulnerability can be your strongest suit of armor. Embracing empathy and personal connection. The hallmark of Oprah's empire lies in her profound empathy, a trait she cultivated through her personal pain. Instead of hiding her experiences of abuse and emotional turmoil, she openly shared them, forging an immediate bond with people from all walks of life. This authenticity translated into an interview style that delved deeper than surface-level chatter. Her conversations seemed more like heartfelt exchanges between friends rather than scripted Q&As. In a society that often shies away from public introspection, Oprah dared to turn the spotlight onto the hidden recesses of the human psyche, encouraging her guests and her audience to confront trauma, shame, and guilt. By doing so, she showed that empathy can be a powerful catalyst for healing and transformation. Viewers felt safe to confront their own vulnerabilities because Oprah was unafraid to confront hers. Through episodes featuring everyday heroes, survivors, and thought leaders, she created a space for human connection that spanned race, class, and geography. When people tuned in, they weren't just watching television, they were participating in a cultural moment of shared introspection. Empathy in Oprah's world was not a weakness, but a superpower that built bridges across differences. By engaging viewers in conversations that matter, she urged each of us to become a little more compassionate in our own lives. This approach reinforced a fundamental truth that what unites us as human beings is far stronger than what divides us. Building a brand rooted in purpose, success for Oprah was never purely defined by ratings or revenue, though both soared well into the stratosphere. From launching the Oprah magazine to founding her own network, she always aimed to create content that could enrich lives, spark curiosity, and elevate the collective consciousness. Whether recommending a new book, hosting influential guests, or exploring spiritual growth on Super Soul Sunday, her brand continually circled back to one central mission: personal empowerment. This dedication to purpose resonated with audiences who were tired of shallow entertainment. They found in Oprah a guide, someone who combined intellect, emotional depth, and a friendly demeanor to inspire genuine self-reflection. In an era where media can be superficial, she carved out a unique niche by intertwining spirituality, self-help, and everyday practicality. With each new venture, she asked, how does this serve the audience's growth? As a result, her enterprises attracted not just viewers, but dedicated followers, people who saw in her brand a beacon of hope and self-discovery. This underscores a vital lesson: building something meaningful requires more than just chasing profit. It demands a vision that people can connect with on a deeper level. If you aim to create a lasting impact, ask yourself what core values shape your endeavors. For Oprah, it was clear: empathy, education, and enlightenment form the foundation of a media empire like no other, a testament to the power of aligning your work with a heartfelt mission that resonates across diverse backgrounds, translating struggle into significance. Beneath the glitz and accolades, Oprah's core story remains one of transformation. Every triumph she celebrates, an Emmy, a successful magazine launch, the massive Oprah's Favorite Things phenomenon, carries the echoes of a painful childhood and a relentless pursuit of meaning. She never shied away from her complicated past. Rather, she transmuted it into a driving force for social contribution. Through philanthropic efforts like the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, she continues to uplift those who, like her younger self, may feel overlooked or underestimated by society. This personal investment goes beyond writing checks. She pours her life experiences into creating opportunities that can radically alter someone else's trajectory. When you consider your own hardships, do you see them as wounds that limit your future, or as sources of strength that can empower others? Oprah's entire life demonstrates that anything labeled broken can be reimagined as a bridge leading to transformation for yourself and for countless others who witness your journey. Legacy, in her eyes, is measured not by wealth or fame, but by how effectively one's life story can spark hope and progress in the world. By confronting her darkest moments and daring to reveal them, she illuminated a path that has inspired millions to evolve, heal, and push beyond their perceived limits. Hers is an empire rooted in empathy, authenticity, and the unwavering belief that one's pain can ultimately become one's greatest platform for empowerment. Oprah Winfrey's story proves that no past is too painful to be transformed into a future brimming with purpose and possibility. Her life reminds us that every hardship can become a stepping stone towards self-discovery if we harness it with empathy, courage, and a steadfast commitment to growth. Now it's your turn to translate your adversities into strengths. If you found value in this message, please like, share, and subscribe to Rise and Inspire for more uplifting stories and motivational insights. Your journey can spark a new beginning for someone else today.
They called her a misfit, a freak, a monster. But Stefani Germanotta didn't hide. She transformed. Through rejection, rape, and relentless pain, she became Lady Gaga, a warrior who turned wounds into anthems. Her story isn't about fame, it's about fighting to be seen. To every outcast told they're too much. You don't need a crown to be royalty, you just need the courage to burn brighter than the darkness. So when life tries to silence you, remember, the greatest art comes from the deepest scars. Press play on your dream, and as Gaga would say, just dance. The outsider, bullied, broken, but unbowed. Stefani Germanotta, known to the world as Lady Gaga, began her journey in the Upper West Side of Manhattan. From a young age, she was drawn to music, teaching herself piano by ear at age 4 and writing songs by 13. However, her passion for the arts set her apart in a world that often values conformity. Attending the convent of the Sacred Heart, an elite private Catholic school, she faced relentless bullying. Peers mocked her for her appearance, calling her rabbit teeth and the germ, and ridiculed her for her big dreams and eccentric style. Despite the cruelty, Gaga found solace in her art. She immersed herself in music and theater, using her talents as a refuge from the torment. Yet the scars of bullying lingered. In a candid moment, she recalled bursting into tears in front of her entire class, overwhelmed by the weight of the taunts and isolation. These formative experiences, though painful, fueled Gaga's determination. She channeled her hurt into her artistry, vowing to never let the negativity define her. Her journey from the outcast to a global icon is a testament to the power of resilience and self-belief. Lady Gaga's story reminds us that our past does not dictate our future. With strength and perseverance, we can transform pain into purpose. The grind, rejection, debt, and reinvention. After being signed to Def Jam at just 19, Lady Gaga faced a harsh reality when the label dropped her after only 3 months, leaving her devastated and questioning her future in music. Undeterred, she immersed herself in New York's Lower East Side club scene, performing with her band and experimenting with her sound. During this period, she met producer Rob Fusari, who helped her develop her unique electro-pop style and introduced her to the name Lady Gaga, inspired by Queen's song Radio Gaga. In 2007, Gaga signed with Streamline Records, an imprint of Interscope, and began writing songs for artists like Britney Spears and the Pussycat Dolls. However, she felt constrained by the industry's expectations and struggled with body image issues, leading her to adopt extreme dieting habits. Despite these challenges, she continued to push boundaries, collaborating with producer Red One to create her debut album, The Fame. The release of The Fame marked a turning point in Gaga's career. The album's success, propelled by hits like Just Dance and Poker Face, catapulted her into the spotlight. Her bold fashion choices and unapologetic persona resonated with fans worldwide, solidifying her place in pop culture. Through resilience and reinvention, Lady Gaga transformed setbacks into stepping stones, proving that perseverance and authenticity can lead to extraordinary success. The breakthrough, fame, pain, and authenticity. In 2008, Lady Gaga's debut album, The Fame, exploded onto the pop scene. With chart-topping singles like Just Dance and Poker Face, she became an overnight sensation. However, Fame came with its own set of challenges. Despite her success, Gaga was still battling internal struggles, including crippling body image issues and anxiety. The intense media attention only exacerbated her insecurities, and she often found herself questioning her worth beyond her music and image. But Lady Gaga's breakthrough wasn't just in the music charts, it was in her ability to stay true to herself amidst the pressure. She chose not to conform to Hollywood's narrow standards of beauty. Instead, she embraced her unique style and raw, unapologetic persona, which resonated deeply with fans who felt marginalized. Her music became a safe space for those struggling with their own self-worth. Her journey reached a pivotal moment when she performed Till It Happens to You at the 2016 Oscars, delivering an emotionally raw performance for survivors of sexual assault. The performance not only solidified her artistic depth, but marked her transformation from a pop sensation to a powerful advocate for vulnerable communities. Gaga's authenticity became her greatest strength, inspiring millions worldwide. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the birthplace of courage, she later said. Her ability to be herself in an industry that thrives on perfection is the real breakthrough that continues to define her legacy. The warrior, turning scars into strength. Lady Gaga's journey through pain and adversity transformed her into a warrior both on and off the stage. Diagnosed with fibromyalgia, a chronic pain condition, she didn't let the debilitating pain define her. Despite the daily struggle, she continued to perform at the highest levels, delivering electrifying shows, including her record-breaking Super Bowl halftime performance in 2017. For Gaga, the stage became her sanctuary, where she channeled her personal battles into her music, using her platform to share her story and advocate for others. But it wasn't just physical pain that she overcame. Gaga's history with PTSD from past trauma made her journey even more difficult. Instead of letting her scars hold her back, she became an outspoken advocate for mental health, founding the Born This Way Foundation to support youth who have faced bullying and discrimination. She encouraged her fans to embrace their differences, championing self-love and acceptance. Her vulnerability didn't weaken her, it made her stronger. Gaga turned her scars into symbols of strength, showing the world that real power comes from within. In her music, activism, and personal life, she taught millions that it's not about being perfect. It's about finding beauty in your brokenness and using that strength to empower others. You don't need to be perfect to be powerful. Your scars are your story, Gaga once said, and her ability to rise from the ashes to become a voice for the voiceless continues to inspire millions worldwide. The legacy. Champion of the unconventional, Lady Gaga's legacy isn't just measured by her 14 Grammy Awards, Oscar, or $250 million net worth. It's found in the way she's redefined what fame means. In an industry that often prizes conformity, Gaga has carved her own path, becoming a champion of the unconventional. From her avant-garde fashion to her willingness to speak out on issues of mental health, LGBTQ+ rights, and self-acceptance, she's been unapologetically herself, refusing to be confined by society's expectations. Her versatility as an artist is key to her lasting impact. After dominating the pop charts, she seamlessly transitioned into jazz with Tony Bennett, proving that her talent spans beyond one genre. Her role in A Star Is Born, 2018, where she earned an Oscar for her powerful performance and song Shallow, showcased her range as an actor, further cementing her place as a multifaceted artist. Gaga's ability to evolve while staying true to her roots has inspired countless individuals to embrace their own uniqueness. But it's not just her music or acting that leaves a mark, it's her legacy as a beacon of empowerment for others who feel marginalized. Gaga has shown that strength comes from vulnerability, and her authenticity is a message to the world. You don't need to fit in to be powerful. Her journey proves that success isn't about fitting a mold, it's about breaking it. Lady Gaga's influence will continue to inspire future generations to live boldly, creatively, and without apology. Overcoming the impossible. Lady Gaga's message for us. All Lady Gaga's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and self-belief. From being bullied for her uniqueness to overcoming deep personal struggles, she has consistently shown that no obstacle is insurmountable if you face it with courage. Gaga's story is not just one of fame and fortune. It's about turning pain into purpose and using adversity as fuel for growth. Her battles with mental health, body image issues, and trauma have not only shaped her artistry but also her activism. Through her Born This Way Foundation, she has advocated for mental health awareness, supported LGBTQ+ youth, and stood against bullying. Gaga has shown that vulnerability isn't a weakness, it's a strength that allows you to connect with others and make a real impact in the world. When faced with setbacks, whether physical pain from fibromyalgia, criticism from the public, or personal loss, Gaga has never backed down. Instead, she has used each challenge as an opportunity to grow stronger, more authentic, and more determined. Her message is clear. The struggles you face are not the end of your story, but the beginning of your transformation. Lady Gaga teaches us that overcoming the impossible is possible when you stay true to who you are, embrace your struggles, and use them to fuel your passion. Her journey shows us that resilience, compassion, and self-expression are the keys to conquering life's toughest battles. Lady Gaga's journey proves that no matter how many times life knocks you down, it's your determination and authenticity that define you. From the depths of personal struggle to global stardom, she has shown that transformation is possible through resilience and self-empowerment. Remember, like Lady Gaga, you can rise above any challenge. Your pain, your story, your uniqueness, all of it makes you powerful. Keep pushing forward, embrace your flaws, and let your light shine. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Rise and Inspire for more motivational content. Keep evolving and make your journey count.